Today's tale centres around the military appeals tribunals. We are fortunate in Warwickshire to have a set of surviving records from the Warwick District Appeal Tribunal under reference CR 1520. The collection consists of 1,327 appeals held across 93 meetings between 15th of March 1916 and November 1918. There is also a box of administrative papers which include some minutes, case summaries and circulars from central government, and 2 boxes of correspondence relating to the work of the tribunal. The papers were supposed to be destroyed due to the sensitive issues surrounding military conscription. Only those for Middlesex and Lothian and Peebles were supposed to survive as a benchmark for possible future use, but as we can see, those orders were not fully carried out, hence our set for Warwick District, which covered the south of the county. On 4th of August 1914, Britain declared war on Germany. Many men volunteered to join the fighting, and local volunteers were lauded, as shown in this image of Cheriton and Stourton volunteers in September 1914. However, as the war progressed, it became clear that voluntary signing up could not keep pace with an industrialised scale of warfare, and that some form of compulsion was necessary. The government shied away from conscription, and the Derby scheme was introduced in October 1915 by Lord Derby, Director General of Recruiting. By this, men aged between 18 to 41 were asked to attest to their willingness to serve on the understanding that single men would be called before the married volunteers. Notwithstanding the men shown here, by December 1915 more than 1 million single men had failed to attest, and thus the government had to concede the necessity for compulsory military service. Conscription was introduced in 1916 when the Military Service Act was passed in January of that year. The Act required that all single adult males aged between 18 and 41 register for military service unless they had a certificate of exemption. The grounds for exemption centred around factors such as you were involved in work in the national interest, you were medically unfit, that a call-up would cause serious financial or business hardship, or as a matter of conscience. Application for exemption could be made to a local tribunal. Recruiting officers could also attend the hearing and make representations. The aggrieved parties, and these might include a military representative, could appeal to a district tribunal. There was a further possibility of appeal to the Central Tribunal in London, but applicants needed leave to appeal from the District Appeal Tribunal to do so. The cases provide an interesting snapshot into the lives of ordinary people in the early part of the 20th century, and at a time when local communities were under great pressure. In this image, we can see the case of Frederick Archer. The case papers generally include personal details, so we can see his name, address, that he is a gardener, and that he is 40 years old. His employer, Marie Corelli, is the person who is making the appeal, and she is requesting a temporary exemption for her gardener. This is Marie Corelli's house, Mason Croft in Stratford-upon-Avon, and we can see that it is a substantial property. Marie Corelli was one of the Victorian age's best-selling novelists, selling more books than contemporaries Rudyard Kipling, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and H.G. Wells combined. She moved from London to Stratford in 1899 and lived here in Mason's Croft, a former townhouse and educational establishment. From her letter to the tribunal, we can see that the grounds include a kitchen garden, 3 glasshouses, a large paddock, 4 lawns and flower gardens. She explains that she used to have a team of men to look after the grounds, but now she has only Fred and a man called Court, who is over military age. Her other man is away harvesting and she doesn't know when he will be back. She believed her garden and parts of her house maintained by Frederick would suffer in his absence. Fred was almost 40 and too old for military service almost. She asked for a delay so that she could find a replacement. The appeal was refused. Unfortunately, we don't know where Fred was sent, but given his age, it is unlikely that he went to the front. He did survive the war and died in 1932.